This week on Top 3 Tuesday, we're going to be covering our favorite 3 cycling warm-ups. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Andy and Dr. Brandon from Twin Cities Movement, your Minneapolis Chiropractic and Functional Rehabilitation Center. So this week on Top 3 Tuesday, we're going to be covering our favorite 3 cycling warm-ups. Next week, we're going to be covering our favorite 3 circuit training our favorite 3 circuit training exercises in cycling. And then the following 2 weeks, we're going to be covering our favorite 3 injury prevention techniques or injury rehabilitation techniques also for cycling. So common trend, common theme this month, it's going to be biking. So for this particular one, we're going to be talking about a warm-up. Now this is a general warm-up. You want your shoulders primed, you want your upper back primed, you want your hips primed. That will allow everything to kind of function as it should, allow you to transfer power through your torso as effectively as possible, preserving your low back, preserving your neck, getting as much power transfer as you possibly can. So we're going to start this one with a V-stance thoracic spine. So this one is actually going to get a lot in the hips and in the upper back. So Dr. Brandon is going to get into a nice comfortable split stance here, a nice comfortable almost splits, and then he's going to plant his palms, and then he's going to keep one pressed into the floor while he presses the other hand towards the ceiling. He's going to try and get as much of this in his upper back as he possibly can. He's definitely going to be looking up at his hand so that he can get all the way up into the neck for this. So this is really nice for rotation in the thoracic spine. Plus you get a nice little groin stretch at the same time, which can't hurt when you're pedaling over and over and over and over again. So the next one we're going to talk about is the hip hinge reach. So if anybody is up with the foundation training, this is relatively similar to that. So basically Dr. Brandon is going to do a short stop hinge, and then he's going to press out very, very actively, keeping low back neutral here, keeping the hips, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings and in the posterior chain. Just get as much of that as possible. Keep his upper back nice and engaged and his serratus anterior engaged so that he can kind of keep his shoulder blades as low as possible. When you're reaching up overhead, you can't really do that, but you want to keep them as engaged as possible just so that you can maintain that control through the thoracic spine and through the upper back. And the last one that we're going to do is an open chain hip rotation exercise. So this one, you want to keep your core completely engaged. You want all of this movement to be happening in the hips. And this is exactly what Dr. Brandon is going to be doing, keeping the leg bent as much as possible. You're going to try and bring the hip through its range of motion all the way to the extreme as much as you can, back and forth probably 3, 4, 5 times, pushing it and controlling it as much as possible. So we're not talking about swinging through these things. We're talking about full control, pushing it all the way through its range of motion. He can use the wall. You can press against the wall actively to help you engage your core if you need to, or you can really challenge yourself and do it with no assistance whatsoever. So again, this was Top 3 Tuesday. These were our favorite 3 cycling warm-ups. You can stay tuned next week for a circuit training workout that we're going to use for cross training on the 2 or 3 days a week that you are either actively resting or something along those lines. So don't forget to follow us on the socials if you care to share this with somebody who likes biking. We know a lot of people that like biking in Minneapolis, so you can probably find somebody that could benefit from some of this information. And yeah, thank you again for watching.